So guys, I think we can start. So first of all, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Josim and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Before we begin, some practical information. This live feed will be recorded for the purpose of sharing it on our YouTube channel, so it may help you and others as a guide later. I recommend you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you may not miss any of our content uploaded. You will also get the opportunity to interact with our guest at the end of this webinar, where you can ask your questions at the Q&A function on Zoom. We will try to answer all of them at the end of this webinar. So just remember, please write them at the Q&A function on Zoom. So today's topic is quite an interesting one, which is where we are going to discuss our master program in sustainable communication. If you have a strong interest in strategizing and communicating in areas such as climate psychology, environmental or social or economic dimensions of sustainability, or relationship between media and communication and transmedia storytelling, then this program will be a great fit, an asset for you to kickstart your career in these areas. So stay tuned and let's welcome our guest, Dr. Paola. How are you doing today?
Hi everyone. I'm good.
Excited?
Nice to be here. Yes. First time I have the opportunity to speak more directly with prospective students.
Amazing. So thank you first of all, thank you for taking time out and helping us understand the program in depth, its uniqueness, and what our students can achieve and expect from this. I prepared some exciting questions for you that can help our potential students to understand our program in depth and its uniqueness. To begin with it, my natural first question would be, please tell us a bit about yourself and what inspired you to take a lead role to, to lead the program on sustainable communication.
So I come originally from Brazil. And I studied at the University of Journalism and Public Relations. Then I did a master in Sociology, International Communication, and Human Rights at City University in London. And then I came to Sweden in 2007, and I did another master's in media communication and PhD at Stockholm University and PhD at Karlstad University. And then I started working at Jönköping University in 2019. And I have been the program director for this master program since 2021. I really liked this focus on sustainability and social sustainability, social justice, and a very dynamic environment. It's very international. And then when the opportunity came for me to be the director of the program, I took it because I really believe that it's a very good, interesting program with courses that I enjoy, I like, also because it was a new program. It started in 2019. So I saw that I have excellent colleagues and the very diverse student group. And because it was a new program, I had the chance. We have the chance to create and to shape the program as we want it to be, together with the students also.
Great. So we can now talk about the program. What is sustainable communication and what we aim to achieve with it? What kind of societal needs or organizational needs or strategic needs are we trying to address through it?
Yeah, in the program, we say that the program is for people who have who maybe have some background in social sciences and are interested in communication in sustainability, but also for people with a background in communication who have an interest in sustainability. What we want to achieve with the program is for students to understand and to also help organizations to understand the connections between communication and sustainability. In most of our courses, our focus will be social sustainability. So we will talk about questions about democracy and participation, gender inequality, but also health as well, but also because it's environmental sustainability, because it's impossible to talk about social sustainability without addressing environmental sustainability and economical sustainability. So that is a very broad education, and as we can talk during this this webinar, students can take a very wide range of roles as and positions, and work within different areas as our former students have been doing.
Excellent. We are heading towards perhaps the biggest challenge mankind faces, which is climate change. How is the program designed to prepare students to deal with that challenge when working in different sectors, like you already mentioned, NGOs, governments, or industry, etc.?
Yeah, we have different courses in which we study, for instance, the sustainable communication, the relation between sustainability and communication. We study global crisis communication, transmedia storytelling. We have digital media and inequality. So that gives the students the opportunity to understand why communication is important for organizations, and why sustainability, and to help organizations understand how they can address sustainability, and how they can communicate this all their activities and what they do to promote and to achieve sustainability.
Okay. How can this program contribute to a better understanding of the concept of the sustainability? I think you have already touched upon it, I mean, do they do some kind of projects or case studies or things like that to really understand the topic in depth?
Yeah. So we start the program with courses in with this course in social sciences of sustainability, and that is to give a kind of to map out what are the intersections between social sciences, and then this is a joint joint course. So it's students from sustainable communication, and for other master programs that we have we have a master program platform, and that is sustainable communication, leads which is learning, digitalization, and sustainability, and global studies and sustainability. So in this course is a survey course, and then it's designed to map out how we can understand sustainability from the perspective of social sciences. So what are the political conditions of sustainability? What are the political implications? How we understand, well, how different societies understand sustainability, how this idea and the concept of sustainability, how it emerged and where, and we look into, for instance, all the history and the trajectory of environmentalism in society and in the international arena, including, for instance, the United Nations. Then we have a course specifically in sustainability and communication, where we look into the communicative aspects of sustainability. Then we look at, for instance, you will look at communication in organization and in organizations, how we can be conducive of sustainability, but also we look into media coverage of different aspects of environmental, social, economical sustainability. And we have courses in communication and social change. We have courses in digital media, in digital media and inequality. And we also have courses in globalization and media, in which we study how media has contributed and has intersected with this phenomenon that we call globalization. So it's very we can understand sustainability from a historical perspective, how it emerged, why it's important, but also from a social perspective, what kind of social processes, political processes are implicated in this idea of sustainability.
One of the common questions which I usually get from a lot of potential students are there any internships or real projects? Will they get an opportunity to work and test and apply the knowledge they learn?
We have for there are actually, we are talking about one program, one master sustainable communication, but in reality it's two programs. So we have 1-year program.
Yeah.
That's 60 credits, and a 2-year program that's 120 credits. In the one year program, then we don't have internship. And then usually for the 1-year program is people who, most of the people who take this program, they have already worked a few years and they are looking into retrain, or they are looking into specialize. So they already have contacts, and many of them will already have like a company or an organization, or they already have like plans to come back to work. So this program, in the 1-year program, we don't have an internship. In the 2 years program, there is 5 weeks work placement, we call it. And then there is the opportunity to work closely with, usually students work with a short-term project, for instance, writing a sustainability report or working with a social media campaign. Some students have worked with companies and organizations in Jönköping and the vicinity. We have students that did internship in companies in their own countries. That's also possible. And then we have students who did internships in other places in Sweden. So we do have, and then we do have also like a network of, now we have building this network of alumni that are also valuable contacts when it comes to finding places for internships. There's also the possibility for students to do internships internally. We have at Jönköping University, we have this SSS as a Students for Sustainable Society. This is a student association, and we did have students from our program being members of the association, but also doing their internships, like running small, like short-term campaigns, for instance, on campus. We also had students who organized events at the university as part of the internship. And then there is also the possibility that it has not happened yet, but we have also the possibility for students to do a more like research-oriented internship and work with one of the professors, one of the researchers, doing small, like more short-term tasks in a research project. For instance, a literature review, or looking into analyzing materials such as interviews and doing content analysis, for instance.
Great.
So there are many opportunities in different fields.
And really interesting, actually. Another thing which I'm just thinking about, there is a lot of fake news media, available online, and which stays in the medium much longer. And then we also get some crisis situations in terms of environment, like for instance, British Petroleum spillover oil in Atlantic Ocean. And then we are teaching a lot of these interesting courses where you discussed about media and digital age, transmedia storytelling, global crisis communication, global cultural studies, and more. So how do we? Are we touching upon these kind of real issues which we face through these courses?
All the time. That's we always. That's one thing that among us, the people teach, like the staff teaching in the course. In these courses, you always try to bring up current examples of what is happening in the year we are taking the course. One example is global crisis communication, when for instance we have this examples of environmental catastrophes and humanitarian help, and how it's how communication unfolds in these cases. We have in another course that is communication for development and social change. We have used as examples of the COP, the Conference of the Parties, that happens is a conference it's a UN-run conference on the environment, and like media coverage. We talked about coverage about about environment from the perspectives of indigenous communities. In global culture studies, we have had visits to the local museum in Jönköping to understand the contemporary and the historical implications of communication for sustainability. So it's all these courses, even though there is a kind of a strong theoretical element aspect, we do discuss like we do have this very more like in-depth discussion about social theories and media and communication theories. We always try to bring it to the reality, to what is happening now, and to contexts that are relatable to students, but also that students can contribute with examples and with analyzing the different realities from which students come. And then that helps a lot, because we usually have very diverse classes with students from different countries in Europe, but then from African countries, Latin American countries, from the Middle East, and from different, it's very varied. So students always have, it's very enriching, because the students always can bring and relate to situations and to events that are happening in their own country. So we do have very interesting discussions.
Interesting. Talking about our teaching pedagogy, how do we inspire students to achieve the best results and have a competitive edge?
We do have we have a lot. One thing that is different from many other countries and many countries in Europe, so we here in Sweden and in Jönköping, we don't have very large student groups in this program. Usually we have for the first year it's around 30 students, and then for the second year it's around 10 to 15. And we do have a very close relation, and we have the opportunity to listen to everyone, and the students have the opportunity to speak and discuss. So that is a pedagogical a good pedagogical endeavor. The discussion and this closeness. And also, when for the thesis, we also do have like a very supportive structure for students to write their thesis with supervisors, but also with the students, small students group, so that they can learn together and study together. And then we do have most of our the large majority of our students are able to complete their thesis on time. And I'm very pleased to say that we have very good quality thesis, and we try to organize little like events and activities for students, both to socialize and get to know each other. Last year, when the second year program finished, we organized a poster exhibition with their thesis at the library, and that was exhibiting in at our university library for the whole summer. That was very nice, and the students really appreciated that. So we have a very close contact with the students.
In fact, my last question is a little bit connected to that, which is how do we connect our students with organizations or industries after they have graduated? Do we have forums or activities where they get connected with them to find opportunities? And how good are we, our alumni doing? I mean, do you have any idea on that?
Yeah, well, as I said, the program is quite new. So the first class started 2019, and that was just a 2-year class. So those students, they graduated in 2021. So we only had, so far we had about, counting with the two programs, five classes who have graduated, and around 60. So that's our alumni universe, is around 60 students. But we do have, but that allows us to have this close contact. So we have students, we have a couple of students who went further to do a PhD. One of them with us, actually, in our department. We do have students working as journalists, in different organizations here in Sweden and some in Germany. I know we have students working with like municipalities and more like in the state, and we have students working as consultants in different organizations, and we also have students working in the third sector with NGOs. So it's very varied. We try to establish a network. Usually, we keep our former students, many of them are very good in keeping contact with us. And there is an alumni network is organized centrally by the School of Education and Communication. But we try more informally to keep contact. So every year in December, we organize a mingle, and it's becoming a tradition. This year was the first time, and then we invite former students. Some of them are close in Jönköping or in Sweden, and they are able to come, but then others participate online. And this year it was interesting because one of our students, she is working at Deloitte in Denmark, and she was saying that this program unites two things that many organizations today are very interested. One of them is communication, which is very important with all the digital media and social media, and that the fact that organizations need to be present in media.
Especially when we have CSR department in most of the multinational corporations around the world.
Yeah, and then the other one is sustainability, that has become an interest for many organizations. So that puts the student in a very good position, because it's a quite unique education that combines this two aspects.
Thank you very much for your time today. And it was really helpful. I hope our audience have learned quite a lot from these questions. So now what we can do is we can open the house for Q&A session. Guys, please feel free to write your questions on the Q&A function on Zoom. I can see we have the first one. And how do we communicate sustainability in real life? It's a very broad question, I think.
Yeah, and it depends that's one thing. It depends to whom you want to communicate, and that's one thing that we learn in the program. For instance, are you communicating about sustainability to a group of farmers in Central America, and if you are communicating about sustainability to the directors in a company, that requires different methods, different media, and different way to formulate the message. So that is one thing that we learn. We talk about in the program, this adapting. Knowing about our audiences, knowing about publics, knowing about what sustainability is and what it means for these different publics. So there is not one way to communicate sustainability in real life, but that will depend on the context and the audience and who you are communicating to.
We have the second question. Do the students start the 1 year program together with the 2 year students and then drop out after 1 year?
Well, they finish after the everyone starts together, and then the first the first 1.5 term is the same for both programs. And then the second half of the second term, the 1 year students, they write their thesis. It's a 15 credits thesis. And the 2 year students, they continue with other courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's possible once you start, it's possible during the first year, it's possible to change both ways. Change from
one to two or two to one.
Yeah, it's possible to change.
How many students last year joined online and on campus? I can just say we don't have online education. This is on campus.
This is on campus.
But I think you might be confusing with one of the offers we have is on Leads, which is learning
digitalization and sustainability.
Yeah, sustainability, exactly.
That one is distance.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, what are the main challenges in global sustainable communication?
I think the main challenge is like conflicting interests between like the majority of people and certain industries that do not, for instance, the oil industry, and in some respects some kinds of energy industry that do not are not sustainable, but want to continue doing what they are doing. So that creates this conflict that makes communication difficult. Political, as we learn in one of the courses, like digital media politics and inequality, I think that's the name. The way digital media works today, that is communication becomes very fragmented. So it's sometimes it's difficult to reach. And as you were saying before, yes, fake news and disinformation sometimes reaches us much faster and easier than the more kind of
real news,
more outreach, real and real news. So these are some of the challenges. But when if you go the program, if you come to if you take the courses, you will see that there are many more challenges that's something that we discuss in most of the courses.
I'm sorry. I'm also thinking about we have. Right now, EU have, for example, a lot of laws coming up around for companies to regulate on issues on sustainability. So then a lot of companies in a lot of countries, majority, more than 95 or 98% of the companies in most of the countries are SMEs, and they don't have the resources or the knowledge of how to really transfer to that stage. Maybe that I kind of also see that as a challenge to really, for me to understand, how do I achieve that? How do I do this?
Yeah, that's why communication is important, but it's not just the small companies. We have the example we had a student doing the internship at a very large and traditional known company in Sweden, who had and her task was to create tools to communicate to the sustainability and sustainable choices to product designers. So even in that is a matter of internal production, but also compliance with law, and that is something that was happening in a very large multinational company. So, and that's something that is also an area where students and people, professionals with this kind of with this education can help and can work with.
By the way, thank you guys for your questions. They're quite interesting ones, so I will keep reading them. How large is the teaching faculty for the program?
I don't know if here if it's mean the number of professors for the program. I think we are permanent. We are about 10 teaching in the program, but then we have many guest lectures. Sometimes we have international guests. And then how many courses you are expected to take? The whole program it's about it's 3 to 4 courses per term. So if you are taking the it's easier to talk about credits. It's each term is 30 credits, and that is like the European credit transfer system. So that it's the same for all European universities. One term is 30 credits. Usually here we divide one term in 4 7.5 courses, but it varies a bit. And then in one term there may be a course with 5 credits and a course with 2.5 credits, but most of the courses are 7.5. And then there is the thesis, that for the 1 year program the thesis is 15 credits, and for the 2 year program the thesis is it's 30 credits.
Yes. Eva is asking, sorry it went too fast. Could you repeat the name? I can do that. It's LEA stands for learning, and DS, it's called LEADS. D and S stands for digitalization and sustainability. So learning, digitalization, and sustainability, which is a web-based program we have. You can find info on our web. How many students last year joined online? And I think we have.
I was the same.
Yeah.
And then
support. Students start the 1 year program straight to. Yeah, sorry. I think I'm so sorry. I'm here. What kind of support will this department provide to international students to secure a career/job in sustainable communication? Is there enough scope in your country for such positions?
The university has a career center, and then we have this informal network of students. And let's see, now I lost the question. And then we do have students who found international students who found a work in Sweden. Is not the easiest, especially if you don't speak the language. But we do have also students who finished the program and then went to work in Denmark from different countries, and which is also like. I can say that the Denmark is very close and is a bit more in this respect is a bit more international than Sweden, but it's possible. And then we have now, with the possibilities for remote work, we have a number of students who wanted to stay in Sweden and are still working remotely for in their countries or internationally.
I know a couple of students from sustainable communication who are actually working in Jönköping in Engelskaskolan, and also working with education, but in Stockholm they are trying to bring people who do not have education, to provide them courses to bring them at par on knowledge with the other society at large. So she's also working as a strategist over there. So
and social justice and gender inequality, we talk a lot in this about that in sustainable communication sustainability. There is in transmedia storytelling we talk about social justice and gender inequality in crisis communication. That is because both social justice and gender inequality are aspects of social sustainability. So it's a very strong focus on that. And energy and renewable energy to the
I can actually say the question, because then everyone else can also hear what the question is. Can I bring my current focus on as a consultant on energy infrastructure and renewable energy to the program? Is there a focus on topics like that? Or is it up to me to emphasize my passion topics in, for example, my master thesis?
Yeah, we do have, it's possible to, we did have students who wrote about this topic from a communications perspective about energy and renewable energy. And we do address this. I know for a fact that we discussed that in one course that I teach, that is communication for development and social change, but it's completely possible, entirely possible to address that in the thesis as well.
Linda is asking how many international students graduated in sustainable communication last year and how many did not graduate?
I think for the 2-year, we had a class of 15 and 13 graduated, and the other ones they finished their thesis a bit later. And for the 1-year program, I think we had around 19-20 students, and about 15 of them graduated, and the other ones most of them they submit their thesis a bit later. But this is we have very, very few, maybe 1 or 2 in each class, in each cohort who do not graduate, and then most of them who don't graduate is because they found a job. And before they finished the program, and that it makes it a bit difficult for them to focus on the thesis. Yeah. But we try to help everyone to complete.
Great. I don't think so. We don't have any more questions. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining in today. Just a further piece of information that we require, other than the requirements for the program, one of the main requirements is also that we need to look into your English level, where we require 6.5 IELTS or 90 TOEFL. And if you don't have it, then we do have Pathway School, which teaches English language. And in certain cases, you might also be missing research work or a thesis. And if it's not equivalent to get into the program, then we also have Pathway that supports that. So please get in touch with us and we can help you with those kind of answers, how to really get into JU and study sustainable communication. So there is just some comments, I think. Thanks for answering the questions. I really appreciate this format. I look forward to submitting my application.
Good luck.
Thank you, Maximilian. I hope I've said it right. Thanks, Katya. Thanks for absolutely. You're most welcome. So guys, please stay in touch. You're most welcome to send us emails. Me or Paola can help you answer them. And I look forward to seeing you in Jönköping, hopefully. All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye.